Yo, it's me, Paulie.
Oh shit, Paulie Malinaggi. So what are you on the line or we got Zoom?
I'm on.
He's on Skype.
Oh, he's
I'm
on
on
Skype.
He actually has
All right.
video. Let me patch him in.
I was sent a Skype link and I've joined in.
All right, I think they're gonna patch you through since your video. But Paulie Malinaggi live on the line with us. Paulie, man, what's going on? Shout out to you, waking up early. What are you doing up? Oh, and there's sunlight over there.
I'm on the East Coast, so
Oh, you're in Florida?
Come on, man. You know I'm in Florida.
Oh, shout out to you, man. That's what I told Pat. Like, yo, Florida's where it's at, man. Paulie over there with the sun. You got me jealous, man. It's cold over here, Paulie.
Is it? How cold? How
Bro,
is
it woke up. I woke up like it was 37 degrees. And
nah, bro. I left New York for that, man. No way. over here, it's like it's about 75 degrees right now, man. Look at my view right here, man.
Oh my God, you by the marina? Amazing.
Yeah, man.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Wake up.
Yo, if it wasn't for this studio, I wouldn't be coming out this bitch, man. I swear to God, I love me some Florida.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, we're talking Canelo versus Jamal Charlo. Obviously, Michael Coppinger of ESPN is reporting that his sources are indicating Canelo will be fighting Jamal Charlo on Cinco de Mayo. I love that fight.
I love this fight. I gotta be honest. I love this fight. Wow, that is something to wake up to. Wow. Yo, I gotta process that right now. Wow.
How much of a shot does he have?
I thought, I was thinking Jamal Charlo is one of the guys that I could see beating Canelo, bro. I mean,
wow.
now I gotta put my money where my mouth is, because I've been the one. I gotta be honest. I've been the one saying, you know what, Jamal and Andre. Although Andre, I feel like now is passing his prime and it's not as much of a threat as he was before to Canelo. But I felt like Jamal is a major threat, and I feel like Jamal would beat Canelo. Now the fight's gonna happen. So now, you know what? Big props to Canelo for doing the fight, because this was the guy that I was picking to beat him if they fought. So big props, and I'm gonna give Canelo even bigger props if he beats Jamal. But let's see, because like I said, I picked Jamal to beat Canelo, and I gotta stick with my original guns. I can't pull back on myself now, you know. So
what is it about Jamal?
My pick is, he's just super sharp, man. I mean, when Jamal is on, he's super sharp, man. You know, it's just like countering. He's got power. He's a good fighter, man. Bro, I'm excited. Yo, this is crazy. I'm still processing this fight. Like, they better not come up with no COVID or crap or anything to somehow push this fight back or cancel it. This fight better happen. I don't want nothing to get in the way now. I don't want anything to get in the way. This fight has to happen. This is a major announcement. Wow.
So where would you prefer to have it, I guess, for the ambiance and just the environment? Is it a Las Vegas fight, or do we do this in Houston or Dallas?
I say it has to be it has to be a Texas fight. I'd say, because Jamal is from Texas and Canelo always sells well in Texas as well. I'd say it has to be a Texas fight, although Texas judging kind of comes into play here, right? So I don't know, man. I don't know. And then again, I mean, we already saw how Las Vegas judging does with Canelo fights with the first Golovkin fight. So I don't know. I mean, I guess just put it in Texas. My initial instinct would say Texas. It probably is a better fight in Texas.
Now, let's say at the last hour, because I hear Makabu's fighting his mandatory somewhere in Florida in the next month, right?
Oh, man, that's right. Canelo was going to fight Makabu, and then they didn't do that.
Yeah.
Yo, that's wild. Yo, Al Heyman must have stepped in and put us some big bucks, bro. Has to be. Has to be. Like, yo, what do you think? I mean, I'm just processing, bro. This is crazy. I'm still trying to process this. Like, I'm thinking out loud as I'm getting all this information. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you just mentioned Makabu. So now, like, it makes me just start to process thoughts out loud. Like, I had just realized, Canelo at the BC convention had made like he was going to fight Makabu. How miserable is Makabu right now?
He's tight.
He lost out on a big payday.
Yeah,
wow.
He's got this mandatory. He's got to take it. He's got to get him out the way.
Where is he going to fight that mandatory?
Somewhere in Florida. Florida. Yeah, it's a Don King promotion.
You got to be kidding me. Makabu's with King?
Yeah.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Hey.
Or the mandatory. It's either Makabu or the mandatory is with King. I think they're both with King, to be honest with you.
Wow. So there's no TV because King hasn't had TV in decades.
No,
right?
no,
Yeah.
no.
That's crazy.
It's strange that he doesn't even deal with Fight TV or any of the other smaller.
Well, he's 100, so he's 100. So he probably doesn't even know how those things even work. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. I don't even understand. Wow, that's wild. That is a wild one.
Yeah.
Macabre went from fighting Canelo for all the marbles to fighting off TV against the mandatory. Wow, that is wild, bro.
I mean, mandatories are in the way, man. If you don't pay that guy step aside money, he's going to be a thorn in your side.
But you know what? The BC would have allowed this step. Would have allowed the Canelo fight. They had already said that at the convention, so you can't even say it's a matter of the mandatory. It's just a matter of Heyman probably put up more money to get the Charlo fight to land. You know what? You gotta give credit, bro. Gotta give credit. Even to Heyman, gotta give credit, bro. I mean, that is doing right by your fighter. Wow, that is really, really major. Charlo versus Canelo versus Charlo. Wow. That was at 168?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
168. Wow, and Charlo actually just posted yesterday on his social media story on Instagram that he feels he's the biggest super middleweight in the world. So it's a clear indication that he's making the move up. Remember, he's the WBC 160-pound champion. So posting that you're the biggest super middleweight, you're letting us know your intentions.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's probably trying to hint that out. So the announcement was officially made today?
Yesterday, Coppinger got on a round table with Bradley and Kriegel and Bernardo Suna, and they had like an ESPN round table. Trav, you want to play the audio for him just to...
Yeah, no, you can play it and he can hear it.
Because it's just a few seconds anyway before they start talking about Macabre.
Cruiserweight or against Macabre. I'm hearing that it's much more likely that he's going to fight Jermall Charlo on Cinco de Mayo. There are talks right now for that fight. And if he is going to go to Cruiserweight, though, I think it would be a mistake. I mean, look at the cautionary tale of Roy Jones Jr. Jones goes up to heavyweight, beats John.
So, obviously Mike already said it, but he's giving you revisionist history. But Paulie, man, I know you got a lot going on. You got my good friend Jimmy following you around. Paulie TV is official. Tell us a little bit about it. And what sort of content could the people expect from Paulie TV? What are you going to be doing? Do we see, are you bringing back From Brooklyn to the World? I got people super chatting literally right now. They're saying, what's up, Paulie? Always great. How is Peter Cards, which obviously was your co-host?
That's my boy Pete. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. With Paulie TV, I do, you will probably see me hanging around Peter as well. We're not bringing back Brooklyn to the World because that was a platform we had from CBS and Showtime. I don't know if we're going to bring that back, but I'd like to eventually involve. It is Peter Cards has the married life and he's got a job. So and I'm in a different state every week. So it's a little bit harder for Peter Cards to just follow me around because otherwise it could be the Peter and Paulie TV. Because that kid is a character. That kid is a character more than me actually, But I do intend to, include Peter Cards at times here and there. He's always great TV. He's always great entertainment, and I know the fans loved him too. They loved our dynamic when we had the show. But it was things happen, and we lost that platform. But with Paulie TV, basically the reason for the Paulie TV platform is so that I have my own platform. I can say what I want and do what I want, and to be myself and let people into my life a little bit. Let people into my professional life. A little bit into my, daily routine of, running around kind of life as well. People kind of keep up with me. So as Paulie TV evolves and extends more and more, I think people will get to be more and more involved in my life and, just see what I'm about and all that other stuff. I mean, I think people assume a lot of what I'm about, but people get to really check it out and see it firsthand. And, of course, get my boxing knowledge and my boxing thoughts on fights, thoughts on possibilities, thoughts on anything boxing, everything and all boxing related will be on Paulie TV. And of course, this is I feel like this is going to be the best possible platform. It'll also promote a lot of the people that I'm working with. I'm working with FightStars.tv. I'm working with Pro Box Promotions. A lot of the things that I'm going to be doing. I'm working with BYB Bare Knuckle, and I'm also working with Sky Sports with Boxer Promotions in England with Sky Sports. So I feel like I'm going to be able to use those those platforms that they give me, that those companies give me, and work with them. So I'll be consistently working. But by the same token, I'll be cross promoting them as well on my own channel, because I feel like the people that have done right by me also deserve to have done right by me. I feel like should be done right. Am I right? Am I wording this right? I feel like they should be done right by me back towards them. I feel like I should reciprocate. So I feel like that's kind of a good marriage for me. I've got a couple of different platforms that I'm working with, and of course, Paulie TV being my platform. You guys will get to see me working on those different platforms. My travels, my work with them, and all this other stuff. Also, my thoughts, not just on the fights that I work with those platforms, but also fights in general. Because one thing I learned from this Showtime debacle that I had, nobody wanted to cover the real story. I was about to break the real story to people, the full story. And when I approached Espinoza, nobody, not a single one of you pricks out there called me for a follow-up to see, like, yo, what's the full story? What is behind you approaching Espinoza? You know what I'm saying? What was behind it? Everybody's looking for clickbait until I give you the clickbait that suddenly goes against the narrative. And then all of a sudden, nobody wants that clickbait. So now the reason I'm saying this is because on Paulie TV, I'm going to be talking about the fights that I'm covering, but I'm also going to be talking about the fights that I don't cover, like Canelo and Charlo, like the Joshua fights and all that other stuff. All the good stuff that all these other media whores like to ask me about and love to get my clickbait answers for when I respond to anything about boxing. Those people will nobody in boxing, almost nobody in boxing, unless I'm working with you. See, you guys are with the boxing voice. Obviously, I'm involved with you guys. But unless I'm working with you guys, unless I'm unless it's a platform that I'm directly involved with, I will no longer be giving my boxing thoughts to anybody. I mean, I'm letting you guys out there know, if any of you out there are watching this right now, like, if you don't approach me at a Canelo fight, don't approach me at an AJ fight, don't approach me in Vegas or with one of you with your little iPhones or your little cameras. I may be on good terms with you. It doesn't matter. You showed your true colors. I'll still remain on good terms with you. It's nothing personal. It's business. You guys kept the business with me. I'm going to keep a business with you. I gave you the chance for all of you guys to get the real story about that Espinoza situation, the background and everything, and nobody wanted it because nobody wanted to risk covering the true narrative, because nobody wanted to risk covering the true story because it was counter to the narrative that of all that's going on, and not just in life but in boxing too, obviously. So I'm done with all those people, and that was the reason why I created Paulie TV. You can get everything from the horse's mouth directly, and I can also promote the companies that are doing right by me directly.
Well, give us a little tease, because obviously I happen to be fortunate enough to be with you when you physically approached Espinoza. The clip definitely went viral. I wouldn't recommend not talking to anyone, especially if you're going to start Paulie TV, but that's a conversation for another time, because those platforms can get the word out.
Well, here's the thing. They didn't want the word. So now, because they didn't want the word on this, they're not going to get the word on the Canelo fight or the AJ fight or my thoughts on any of those other things, because I was willing to give everybody the word. That's why I did this, right? Then nobody approached me. Listen, bro, I've been a professional fighter for decades, ex-professional fighter for decades, right? I've been involved in showbiz for a couple of decades. So I know the way this works. I came along in the social media era. I know the way this works, okay? As soon as I would make a big announcement on my social media platform, usually back in the day it was about announcing one of my fights, but it could be a major announcement about anything, right? As soon as I would make a major announcement, the instant I hit the send button, I was already getting text messages and phone calls from media members wanting to get a story about it instantly. I mean, that's how social media works. You know that instantly, right? When I put this out on Instagram, when I posted this video, about a half hour passed and I had nothing, not a single text, not a single call, nothing. And all of a sudden, that's when I realized, yo, something's going on over here. This isn't normal that I make an announcement this big on some major clickbait shit and nobody's calling me, nobody's texting me. This is weird. I'm being purposely blackballed here. This is weird. This is a major story. So I said, okay, let me play this out. You know what I'm saying? And I got nothing, bro. I got one major media member, and I won't mention him by name because I don't want to put him out there. One major media member who called me and told me, he loves the story and I should keep doing right to defend my name for the right of justice. But he can't put out the story because his editors would never let him. I had that. Okay, so that just confirmed what I had already suspected, and that wasn't for about 4 hours. That wasn't for about 4 hours later. When, like I said, back in the past, the instant I would hit the send button, I would get major contact from media right away, being emails, phone calls, text message, everything, wanting to set up an appointment to schedule an interview or whatnot. So I know the way this is. That's why they all have to be blackballed. Now you have to be blackballed. You've left me no choice. I have to blackball you now. It's a matter of principle, because you didn't cover this story, and this was the story to cover. You didn't cover this story, so now you will not get my coverage on all the major fights. You will not get my opinion. You want your clickbait, you're gonna have to go to get it somewhere else. You're
gonna have to come right here to the Boxing Voice, because at least we'll get it.
Boxing Voice is one of my platforms, but there's only a certain amount of places that I'm working with directly. That's why unless I'm working with them directly, they will not get my thoughts anymore. So, and don't think, and for all you media members, sometimes I have to take media calls to promote the shows that I'm working. Sometimes the promoter will do some calls to promote the show. Even on those interviews, I'm only going to be answering questions about the shows I'm working. So if anybody tries to sneak a question, you're going to get hung up on. You know what I mean? Or I'll walk right away from you, right with your camera on. I'll walk right away from you. So even in those instances where I have to do media interviews, because the promoter that I'm working with wants me to cover some media stuff to promote the shows, the questions I'll only answer will be about that show directly. That's it. None of you are going to get a single story from me again. All right. So that's the reason for that. That was the reason for me starting
Paulie TV.
this channel, and basically having my thoughts, and whatnot. And eventually, when Paulie TV gets a little bigger and whatnot, and I'll have a couple of other platforms, like I said, that I'll be working with, I'll eventually put out more of the full story of what happened, because I think people somewhat got the gist of it when I approached ESPINOZA. They got the gist, but they didn't get anything near what the full story was, and that was supposed to be like a little taste, a little slither for everybody, just to get the curiosity sparked and be like, I want to know. There was more to the story after all. Wow, I want to know the full story now. I want to know more of it. And which is what usually they do. I mean, bro, I believe me. I've been part of major media promotions within the sport. I've been part of some contrary to our narrative situations and all this other stuff. I've been part of all of it, bro. I know how much they love their clickbait. So for them to avoid it, man, they showed their colors, and they are going to get it right back at them. Because I knew in the end I was going to win. Because in the end, that's what's going to happen. You're going to come back to me. You're going to want my thoughts on I'm going to be at fight week on Canelo versus Charlo. All you guys are going to want my thoughts on the week. You're going to want it, and none of you are going to get it now. You know what I mean? Things like that. You played yourselves because you couldn't act right the one time I needed you to act right. I've always done right by all these people. I need the one time I needed these people to act right, they couldn't do it. None of them will get a story from me again.
Well, Paulie, what exactly is your role over with Boxer? What are you doing with Sky Sports and Boxer?
With Sky Sports and Boxer, my role is titled Head of U.S. Media Relations. So obviously I have to be in contact with the media on behalf of Boxer. But again, that was one of the reasons why I said, I'll only be discussing things for the promotion that I'm working with. So sometimes I've got to take interviews and calls from the media for BYB promotions, for example. Bare Knuckle does the same thing. For Boxer, they and Sky Sports, they do the same thing. I'm obviously more than willing to do my job for those companies and to promote their companies and to promote their brands. And for Boxer also, they want me to be on the lookout for American talent that might be out there or whatnot, because they eventually do want to get a US TV network, a US TV deal. They do have they are working in conjunction a little bit with Top Rank, because they have the Sky deal for Top Rank. I think they have 15 dates on Sky Sports, but I think half of them will be with Top Rank, because Boxer now is a growing company, but they don't have enough big time fighters to take up the 15 dates on the platform. So the conjunction with Top Rank is going to get a lot of fights out there. And one of the guys is actually Josh Taylor. He's going to fight on Sky Sports on February 26th. Josh Taylor is a world champion from Scotland, and the unified 140-pound world champion. I thought it was a disgrace that his unification fight with Jose Ramirez got no UK TV. I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. That is one of the best fighters in the world, regardless of weight class, and he couldn't get a home he couldn't get a TV home base for his fans back at home to watch it. He fought the fight in Las Vegas on ESPN here in the US, but there was no UK TV back home broadcasting a unification of the world championship that he unified. Unbelievable. So the fact that Sky have done the deal with Boxer and Top Rank will now allow Sky and allow Josh Taylor to be featured in the UK for his defenses, and one of his first defenses coming up on February 26th. Boxer also has the Kell Brook and Amir Khan fight. It's been a rivalry that's brewing for years. I personally, it might be a little bit too late for that, but it's still a big fight in the UK. Fans will still tune in. There's fans of both fighters that are really hell bent on pushing their guy, and I think that'll be a interesting fight on February the 19th. So my involvement there, as far as being present all the time, it depends on things like the latest spin they put on this variant, on these coronavirus shutdowns, whatever they want to make up one day to the next, because let's face, that's what they're doing essentially. They're just making it up one day to the next. It'll depend on that. It'll depend on what other jobs I'm working here, because I have to now prioritize my U.S. jobs, because my base is in the U.S. So I'll have to prioritize that first as well. So it'll depend on that. But my involvement with Boxer is there.
And do you have a schedule for Paulie TV yet, or is that still developing?
We're still developing the schedule. We get right now we're doing kind of outline topics, and we'll kind of just shoot some video and shoot some content based on the outlines and the topics, the certain discussions that will want me to discuss and put them on video, and then we kind of do what everybody else does. What I know, what I've noticed, like I've done interviews in the past that like last like 5 minutes, and then it'll become like different segments on YouTube, what I'm saying? So it'll look like it's different pieces, So I that's kind of what we're doing. We're taking that approach with the Paulie TV. We're just gonna shoot some long content and then kind of divide it up into different segments, and put it out there little by little. And so we're scheduled to shoot. I got to come out to California next week, so we're gonna be shooting some stuff out in California, some content out there as well. But little by little, we're going to grow the channel. We're going to grow the platform. I'm getting a positive response from it, which I did anticipate, because people had always said that, but I do eventually want to, bring in Peter Cards and all this other stuff. I would like to involve him in some way, shape, or form, because he's always pure entertainment.
Sure.
And then, also my other stuff, stuff I'm going to be working on with FightStars.tv, commentate. I will commentate with Fight Stars at least a couple times a month. With Pro Box Promotions, you're going to see some stuff. You're going to see some announcements out of Pro Box. I don't want to make the announcements before Pro Box does, but they've got some major announcements coming up this month.
I was going to say that. Don't they have a date for January 21st, or did they push that back?
They pushed it back because of coronavirus caught the compound. So a lot of people tested positive for this cold. And so now the government forces you to not work when you have it. So we're gonna have to push it back to February 25th.
Okay. And obviously with Floyd Mayweather and the news,
there will be announcements with Pro Box, by the way. In the coming weeks, there'll be some pretty big announcements. I know regarding Pro Box Promotions.
It's a beautiful venue.
Regarding we got the venue, but regarding the team we've got involved there and all this other stuff, you're going to be hearing some pretty big announcements in the coming weeks. And Pro Box is going to be putting on some consistent shows, so people will also be able to have some more consistent boxing.
And where could those shows be seen?
Pro Box is going to have an app, the Pro Box app. The announcements will all come out. You're going to see in the coming weeks. I don't want to put it out there and give it to you like partial and confuse you.
For sure.
But there will be an app, and it'll be a free app. It'll be a free app, so people will be able to watch the fights.
Nice. So I guess the last thing, obviously, with Mayweather, he didn't announce, but there's been an announcement that he's fighting some 18-year-old boy in a celebrity match again. Does Paulie, are you considering any more exhibitions? Was that a one and done, or do you leave that, I guess, open, and if something makes sense, it makes sense?
I would rather not jump back in the ring under any circumstances. The celebrity boxing, I kind of did it just, I had free time. You know what I'm saying? You kill the boredom. You have an excuse to get in a little bit of shape, even though I didn't really train that much for it. But you just kind of look to kill the boredom and do something. But now I'm going to be very, very busy in 2022. So I would find it very, very difficult to be able to get back in shape. I have been offered some things. I remember there was a celebrity boxing promoter that had wanted me to fight an MMA guy in England, and I was considering it, but then just too many things came up on my plate. I've got options that if I wanted to fight, I could, but I mean, here's the thing. I'm going to be very, very busy working on these various platforms this year. They pay very well, and if I have to train for a fight, it's going to take away from that. It's going to take away my time, because to train for a fight, you got to be very dedicated. You got to get yourself in shape, in very good shape. So it would just take an astronomical amount of money, because I'm already making very good money with these platforms. So it would take an astronomical amount of money to convince me to step away from all of these platforms and all these good people that are giving me time and to work, and then to train just specifically for one fight. Obviously, it would probably be pretty cool content for Paulie TV to have me in camp, but nonetheless, I think it would just take away too much from all my other responsibilities, and those responsibilities, like I said, they pay very well. So I've got to consider it from a businessman's perspective as well. Now that I'm 41 years old, and it would have to be, they say everybody has a price, right? That's the $1 Million Man used to say. But it would have to be a very big price, because I'm making good money already, man. So I can't really. It would probably be almost a definitive no as far as me fighting again.
For sure. Well, Paulie, man, I don't want to take too much more of your time. Let everybody know where they can find you. Obviously, where they can find Paulie TV, and we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, man. You can find Paulie. It's Paulie.tv, I think, on YouTube. It's Paulie.tv on YouTube. And then on my Instagram, it's Paulie Malinaggi. Twitter's Paulie Malinaggi. We're gonna be going these platforms bigger and bigger, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. And be on the lookout, because 2022, I'm gonna be working in a lot of different places, and I look forward to being able to enjoy it if these scumbag governments let us enjoy it.
Well, congratulations on all the success after boxing, man. I appreciate you, and until the next one.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Good talking. Good chat.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Paulie Malinaggi with so many ventures. Oh, my God. 41 years old. You see what it is? I mean, he's really out here working. He's a boxer in the UK. And he's out here with Fight Star, even with Gary Jonas over there with Pro Box. Shout out to Paulie Malinaggi. That was pretty good.